Welcome to another episode of Racing to Learn. We are a nonprofit that uses radio control to get kids excited about math and science. We've got our Pro Lion, Pro MT, 4x4, 1/10 scale monster truck on the bench here. The beauty of this truck is that it uses A scale components, so super beefy for a 1/10 scale vehicle. During our last run at the BMX park, we had some bottoming out of the chassis, and before I bring it to the track again, just wanted to fix that. So the first step was lowering the collars on the shocks, just to put some more compression on those springs, right? So that helped when I was dropping the truck from 3 feet, just doing a test there. You can check out what I spoke about in our previous episode. You can find all of our videos on the series on the Pro MT in a playlist in the video description. But I just wanted to go one step further because there was a weird squeaky sound in the suspension on the right side, not on the left. So we took out one of the shocks. It's pretty easy to get out. It's nice. Basically, they are secured. The shocks are secured with a pin through the A-arm here, and then a grub screw securing that pin in. So very sturdy way of securing that shock. Now, when I pulled the shock collar and the spring off, notice that there was a lot of gunk building up on the shaft. Not a lot, but you can see it here. Where's that clump of dirt? There's a clump of dirt, basically meaning, hey, there's some oil fluid, shock fluid leaking out of this. And then I noticed that the cap, the shock cap, wasn't on. I could finger tighten it even more. So definitely a problem there. You want to make sure that these are secured. So went ahead and tightened that. And then I wanted to pop off the shock cap just to see the fluid levels in here and top it off as I would probably need to. Usually a squeaking sound in a shock is indicative of air bubbles inside the shock. And there's air bubbles because fluid has leaked out, air has leaked back in. So you want to address that situation before it gets any worse. So I really, some comments about the shock here, beautifully machined body, but a couple of things that would improve upon it is some sort of, like a shock boot here to protect the shaft. The con of that is then you can't see dirt clumping up and you using fluid, so not a huge one, but also providing some sort of, a hex on the top of this this shock shaft here, because now in order to unscrew the cap, right, I can try to kind of grasp it and use, oh, okay, that's all I need to do. But sometimes it's nice just to have a hex on there so that you don't have to mar the body of the shock here. So let's take a look here. We're gonna pop the cap off again. This is purely off of a factory build, right? And you can see that clearly this is low on shock fluid. You guys can look in there. It's about, the shock fluid probably comes up to about here. If we take a look at the instructions, unfortunately they don't have anything here in the manual in regards to how to fill the shocks with fluid here. And some shocks like the Technos, they have different builds like emulsion shock builds and whatnot. Basically here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top off the fluid and tighten the cap, and let's see here, shock oil, okay. Alright, they don't give you too much in terms of instructions on filling these shocks in the manual, or they don't give you anything at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just top this off with a little bit thicker of a fluid here. The stock fluid, again, according to the manual. I should flip back to that page. I think it was what did it say here? Is 40 weight. So I'm gonna add some 70 here, just top it off. You know, I'm not gonna bother draining the whole thing. I don't need super precise, you know, mixtures of shock fluid here. I'm not racing with this truck, just bashing. So I'm gonna just pump up the cylinder a couple times there. No bubbles, and I'm probably gonna fill it up. Usually with a, you know, a bladder in the top of the cap like this, you'll want to put the shock shaft about halfway up, and then I think this bladder is gonna compress, so I'm gonna go ahead and top this off more until I get like a meniscus in this shock body. All right, meaning like a U shape there. There's this fluid in there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down. We'll probably have some fluid come out of the top of this. Actually not, I could probably put some more fluid in there. Let's see how this feels. Much better, no more squeaking. I'm gonna put some more fluid in here. You don't need to over tighten these caps by any means. You just don't want them to overflow. Okay, now the cap is stuck to the top of this here. We're good. Actually, I got a little bit flowing out there. Maybe we're good with this. I'm good with it. I'll go ahead and just screw this cap back on. I'm not going to put any more in there. I'm just going to have to clean off the excess anyways. So, I'm just going to put a wrench through here and then finger tighten. I'm actually going to tighten the bottom of this while I'm at it as well. Bottom shock cap, there we go. And again, you know, you could take a wrench to this, like some pliers, but not absolutely essential. We just want it to be tight and not loosen up. Okay. So we've got the shock back together. I'm just gonna go ahead and repeat the process across all four of the shocks here. Again, just so that, yeah, we want to just prevent any problems before we run this any harder. I will go ahead and, what else do I want to do here? I'm going to put some of that Race Tech ultra slick grease on the shock shafts too. You know, just to help out the O-rings there, provide some lubrication for the O-ring and help them seal properly against the shock shaft. And we'll get this truck back together and back out to the BMX park. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next time.